We'll leave Lincoln to one side. You made a lot of changes, didn't you? So does that tell you what your priority was?
No, we can't park it. We've got to break it down, analyse what went wrong. We do a lot of work tactically, so all the players knew the jobs. Didn't quite work on Tuesday. They were a lot sharper and stronger than us. They were better than us. Now, I don't want to detract from our playing squad because we've got good players in there. Possibly that they haven't played together for a while, or haven't played for a while, and then certainly haven't played together showed. But we know we've got to be better than that. All over the park we've got to be better, and we'll strive to be better every time we take training and we play. We still wanted to win the game. People might say, making 10 changes, that we didn't want to win the game. We did want to win the game. And you can see by some of the reactions of the players that we wanted to win the game. But we are mindful of the fact that we have got a massive game on Saturday, and this is now our priority. So we'll learn from what's happened on Tuesday, but we won't dwell on it. We'll focus on Saturday and getting it right for Saturday.
The game before that was an outstanding win for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we'll never get carried away winning or losing. So we didn't get carried away when we won, and we certainly won't get carried away when we lose. But there has to be a reaction to certain things, and there has to be some kind of not a debrief, so to speak, but you have to learn, both good and bad. When things are going well, you've got to try and replicate that. When things aren't going well, you've got to try and put things in place and plans in place and mechanisms in place to make them go better. And we've been doing that most of the season.
That win took you into the playoff places, didn't it? I mean, what a terrific marker that is for you. What a terrific, I say the word achievement, but you know what I mean? To get into that top six is a great effort.
Well, there's lots of teams all vying for that, and it's a really strange league this year. There's probably 16, 17 teams. Probably every team can beat anybody. There's probably about 16 or 17 teams who believe that they can get in the playoffs. And it's never really been like that. And every game you play is always a challenge. Everyone seems to be very difficult this year. Games just come thick and fast, but there's very much a leveling off a standard this year. I think that there's no great team, but there's no really poor team. So everyone's quite functional, and everyone can compete against each other, and that's why you've just got to try and pick up as many points as you can when you can.
And that's not just in League One, is it? That's replicated quite across the division.
It is, and it's possibly it's the advent of no fans, I don't know, but it is. Every division's the same. Championship, Premiership, even League Two, Conference. So listen, we're in with a squeak this year, and we've got to try and keep squeaking loud, I suppose. We've just got to keep going, and every game you play, we go to games, and sometimes you get made favourites to win. It doesn't always work out. We got to rude awakening when we played Wigan and we conceded 4. We have responded well to that, but there's still a long way to go, and we're certainly not getting carried away by just having a victory at Charlton.
Is that your pre-match message? Keep squeaking.
No, possibly keep shouting. Yeah, I think that was it. The Star Council, shout to the top. Good way to do it, isn't it?
The win down at Gillingham was a terrific win for you as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and I think that'll be fresh in their minds. And they did come on strong against the second half, so we know that they pose a threat, and it'll be difficult on Saturday, as every game we play is going to be difficult. But we've got to try and keep on improving. As I said after the game on Friday, the minute you step back and start smelling yourself and thinking you've arrived, you'll fall flat on your face. We know we can improve. We know there's areas to improve, and we've broke that down. And the players know that as well. And the players are keen. The one good thing I've got in the dressing room is they've got a great set of lads who want to work hard, and they want to improve for themselves and for the team. And everyone's pulling in the right direction, or the same direction, and in my opinion, the right direction, trying to get success.
Most managers say we just take it game by game, but actually in this season, when there's so much uncertainty about whether even games will go ahead, is that quite literally the case that you can't look beyond?
I think you'd have to. I think sometimes you're just praying that you've got a clean bill of health after every game. There's going to be twists and turns throughout the season. There's going to be injuries, there's going to be suspensions, and that's why we want to add to the squad if possible before the window shuts. But we won't be doing it just for the sake of doing it. People have got to come in and compete for the places like the players who are already there already here. Sorry.
Is it any more different this January compared to previous ones to try and sign players because of COVID?
Not particularly, no. There is lots out there. It's just getting the right ones. And we do our due diligence. We go and watch players. We study hours of video. And people just think that you pluck these players up the sky. You don't. It does take a lot of watching and a lot of. The thing about recruitment, and everyone says to me, "Can you send me your recruitment number, your recruitment officer's number?" I said, "No, it's me." And I've done a lot of it for years. But the one thing that you have to do is you have to pass on a lot of people, and you have to not dismiss, but you have to find out the ones who aren't going to be good for you, and that means sifting through a lot of players. It's not just you don't just look at Colby Bishop and Dion and you've looked at 3 and you take 2. To take them 2, you've got to probably look at about 200, and that's the hard part, but it's enjoyable, and it's when it pays off, it's pleasing. It doesn't always pay off. Sometimes you don't get signed the right ones, and then the hard work begins, getting other ones in.
Are you looking at permanent signings, John, or loans?
Both. We've got to be mindful of the fact that we don't overstretch ourselves with the loans so that they can't play. Tommy Allen's gone back, and Mo's injured at the moment, so there is one spare place at this moment in time in the squad for a loan player. But we'll just do what's right for the club and what's right for the team.
Loans tend to involve players renting accommodation, hotels, whatever it might be. Is that being affected, people's decisions to go out on loan because of uncertainties about it?
I think it might affect people's decision to travel, but we can only just scour what we want, scour the market, try and identify what we want, and then try and make that happen, and that's what we always do.
You've got all these games in hand as well, haven't you, Rich? And is that a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, you have to deal with it, I guess.
People always equate it to points. It's not. I've always said this, games in hand can sometimes just damage your goal difference. So, listen, whenever we have to play a game, we'll play it, and we'll try our best to win. We won't be counting our chickens. I'm certainly of the adage that a bird in the hand's worth 2 in the bush. So, if someone could give me average points for my games in hand, I'd bite your hand off.
Yeah, season finished now, you go.
Yeah. I wouldn't like the season to finish now. I think there's a lot of football to be played. There's a lot of teams in with chances, and let's just see where it goes.
Cool. In terms of your squad, I mentioned the changes you made the other night. Everybody okay? Or?
Yeah, it's just had 1 or 2 knocks. Matt Butcher got a kick when he came on. Mr. Referee deemed that it wasn't a bad challenge, which amazed me. But and 1 or 2 little bumps and bruises, but okay.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Are you COVID-free now as well?
Am I COVID-free?
Well, everybody.
Yeah, I think we are. Yeah. We had the test. They're getting tested again today, but it was a clean bill of health on Monday with the test.
They say the camera never lies. You really showcased yourself on Friday, didn't you?
Well, I think what it will do is it'll wake up some people who didn't think that we were here on merit. That might show them that we can play football and we can compete. But
has that got pros and cons?
Yeah, it has. But there's only it's only one game. There's a lot more football to be played still. Was it a third of the season to be played? So.
You don't play like underdogs, obviously, but do you feel like you still carry that tag?
It's not for me to say that. I've never wanted to say Little Accrington. I've always wanted to stick my chest out and compete wherever we can compete. It's nice sometimes to reminisce, and competing with Charlton. If you think when they were in the Premiership, we were probably in. Would we have been in the conference then? So to be able to.
When Rob came, they were.
Yeah. So we've took players on loan from Charlton and they've done wonders for us. Him and Robbie Elliott, him and Darren Randolph. But You know, I think is the 8 ex-Premiership teams in League One now. So, you know, it's a good league to be in, and you know, we can look back at where we've come from, and not just myself, and you know, and Jimmy and the rest of the staff, but everybody connected with the club should be proud of where the club is at today. Now, whether we can maintain that, you know, every day we play in League One should be a blessing, shouldn't it?
But some managers and players prefer that underdog tag, do you?
No, I've never been one for underdogs. You know, I cried when Leeds got beat by Sunderland. I cried when West Germany got beat by Czechoslovakia with the ship. I want the favourites to win. I want the big teams to win.
Just finally, do you like pitching your wits against Steve Evans? You've come up against him a number of times.
Yeah, listen, you know, people can say what they want about the big characters in football. You know, there's lots of managers who are maligned. He's passionate about the game. He wants to win, and what's wrong with that? No, you know, sometimes he might be a bit loud, but I don't think I should be throwing stones there in that direction. He wants to win, and he's passionate, and he's been successful in his career. So I've got no problem at all with Steve Evans.